but nobody's gonna die if you say you need some time. Place you. Some things can't be
Have a few minutes.
in
Thought I'd share this
words.
awesome song.
So show me colors, colors I need. Pictures this time. Show me food and sights and sounds. I wanna know what you find. I want colors, colors, please show me. Life ain't black and white. Let me see you on the other side of the line. Show me colors, ooh. Show me colors, ooh. Since you've been away, the days grow longer, and I can't wait to see your smiling face. Even if it's just online, it brings me something I can't define. Some things can't be captured in words. So show me colors, colors I need. Pictures this time. Show me food and sights and sounds. I wanna know what you find. I want colors, colors, please show me. Life ain't black and white. Let me see you on the other side of the line. Swirling round and round in my head, more than all the pages I've read. Dancing on the memories, playing in my mind. When I think about it, I wonder what it would be like. Packing bags and wondering if I was by your side. So show me colors, colors I need. Pictures this time. Show me food and sights and sounds. I wanna know what you find. I want colors, colors, please show me. Life ain't black and white. Let me see you on the other side of the line. Show me colors, ooh.
All right, let's get started. And I am excited today. My name is Emily Breyer. I am your hostess today. The company, I am the owner and CEO of Claim Brilliance. And I am excited because today I want to share with you where our thoughts come from and how to handle the negative thoughts. And so I hope you come and you see this and you play. Be sure if you see this on YouTube to like and subscribe and all of that stuff. And I really am authentically excited that you're here with me today. So who am I and why should you listen to me and who am I? So again, my name is Emily Breyer. I am the wife of my wonderful husband. We are going on 23 years. I have to update this. 23 years in May. I have 5 beautiful children, and I am a certified coach and mentor with 3 key elements. I've also taken classes in Yale in this area. I have participated in Toastmasters for a while. My friend and I were over a co-op for our community because I also homeschool my children. And so with that homeschool, I want them to know that it is important for you to serve your community. So I did this co-op where we provided fresh fruit and vegetables for our community. Its name is Bountiful Baskets, and I did that for 2 years. I've homeschooled now for actually 17 years, and I was also homeschooled, so I'm second generation. I've been in leadership positions in my church with both the women as well as the youth. And I love doing that. It is so much fun. I've traveled. I love traveling. I love going and seeing the world around me. I've been in both the United States as well as outside of the United States. And yeah, that's been a lot of fun. We have lived on the East Coast as well as the West Coast. And so, yeah, we move a lot. And so I tell people, I just gather friends. I love it. I'm an avid reader. I don't know if you can see all of these books, but yeah, I love reading and I love learning. And then I love being able to take what I've learned and turn around and help others. So this is where my mentoring comes in, as well as my coaching and being able to record and do these type of presentations is awesome. I love being a student, and being able to speak in public is so fun to me. I don't know if you ever get 100% comfortable with it, but I do love it. There was a time also where I helped Olive Garden out for a while, and I was a coach and a trainer for the servers there. I loved doing that. I love my Heavenly Father, and I love learning. I love people, and I am excited to continue down this road to serving those I come in contact with. So that's who I am. This is the agenda for today. I should do this, correct some things. Hopefully you can see me and hear me and all of that. I hope so. All right, so here's the agenda. We're going to be talking about, where do our thoughts come from? How do I fix the thought patterns? How to analyze your thoughts, label them, and reframe them. And then I have some do's and don'ts on negative thoughts and positive thoughts. So let's jump in. So where do thoughts come from? You have a couple of different areas in which thoughts come from. You have thoughts that come from the Holy Ghost, your higher power, intuitive thoughts, feelings. You don't know where they're coming from. They're coming from a higher power. Also, you have authority figures, so your parents or those who raised you, grandparents, aunts, uncles, teachers, bosses, your spouse, church leaders, people of importance. And then also we have the adversary and his helpers, and they can put thoughts in our heads as well. We also have, I didn't label this, but we also have radio waves and all around us. TV, internet, radio waves. So those also pass through us. And then we have ourselves and our mindsets and our mind files. So that's kind of a glimpse of where all of our thoughts come from. And it's really important that you know that not all of your thoughts come from you. Also, to know that thoughts are just things that we can either accept or we can let go of and process. So how do we analyze our thoughts? I'm going to go ahead, and I have learned that just because I move me doesn't mean that I disappear and move. So I am going to take myself off, and hopefully that will make it so that you can see this without me being in the way. Okay, so how do you analyze your thoughts? The first thing you should do is, a lot of times we don't even recognize our thoughts. So it's really important that as we think about our thoughts, if you're not conscious of the things that you're thinking, then look at your mood. Are you in a good mood, or are you in kind of a slump? Are you angry? Are you upset? Are you joyful? Are you content? Are you bored? So when you look at your mood, this will kind of trigger, okay, what has been going on in my mind that I am feeling this way? And then once you tap into the mood that you're currently in, you can then start being curious about your thoughts and then asking questions, especially if you're in a bad mood. And this is the direction I'm going with these, is to ask yourself questions, to be curious. So, did I get triggered? If so, what happened? Did someone say something, or did I see something, or did I experience something? What situation am I in? So to be able to close your eyes and really analyze what thoughts have been playing in your head. This is really important, because then we can analyze, take the situation that we're in, especially if you're in a negative situation, but you can also do it in a positive situation, to analyze so that you can re-experience those things that you're grateful for. We'll get into that in a little bit, but to be curious, especially if you're in a slump, or you're bored, or you just don't feel like doing anything, or you're mad, what happened? What was the situation? And then take the thought, and then look at it from an outside vantage point. This is going to be your best way to really analyze where it's coming from. And I think once you can see where the negative thoughts are coming from, then you can analyze it and take it apart and process it. Doing this on a piece of paper is really, really, really helpful. Just because it gets it out of your head, it gets it on paper, and then you can look at it and say, okay, I had a fight, or I saw a situation and I didn't like it, and then you can analyze it. And so in that situation, is someone involved? What's their point of view? And we're going to go over this in just a few seconds. And then you can choose what to focus on, because there's that saying that says, what you focus on grows. I know this to be true, because either way you go, say you get into a fight, what happened is in the past. If you got into a fight, what happened is in the past, but the thoughts and the thing that got triggered is not in the past. You are still focusing on that. And so to be able to take it and analyze it, put it down on paper, and then process that, then you can start doing a gratitude list and focusing on what you want to have, the feelings that you want to have. So let's go into this a little bit more. I have diagrams, because diagrams are so much fun. So how do you choose to see the world? Are you a half empty or a half full kind of a thinker? This is a learned behavior, and it is important to break up the pattern if you want to change. So an easy way to do this is to go back and analyze what happened. So let's say you're driving and somebody cuts you off, okay? And you can get really, really upset about this, okay? So you have you, and then you have the other person. So how you analyze this type of a situation is you have what is reality to you, and then your perceived reality of them. And then they have what is actually happening, so their reality, and then their perception of you. Does that make sense? So we can take, again, a vantage point and being able to give some leniency. So if I do this and then do this, let's see, we'll put her right here. Then here's you, okay? And then here's your perception of the driver. And here's the driver, and here's the perception of you. So I'm going to share an example of what I'm talking about, because I think it will help things to be better understood. So one time I was driving and, well, I was at the gym and I had to get my daughter home and, or it's not home, I had to get my daughter to work. And I was super late. I usually don't cut people off. I don't try to jump in line. I don't try to create a situation that is unnecessary. But on this case, I was really late. And so I was driving and I had to cut in line. I had to cut in line. So I was driving and I cut this person off because I needed to get, like, I needed to get there. And so the perception, this was my reality. I guess I'll go over here. This was my reality, was I had to cut in line when I usually don't do that. And then their perception, I was saying prayers and like blessing this person because I didn't want them to be mad that I was in such a hurry. And so then there's the reality of this person, and they could have chosen to be mad. They could have chosen to curse me out. There's nothing that I can do about this person, but they perceived me in a certain light. Does that make sense? So they perceived me in a certain light, and this was my reality. And then I was sending them good thoughts and good vibes, but they didn't necessarily 100% know that I was doing that. And so they could still have a perception of me in a certain light. So if a situation like that happens and it's flipped, say somebody cut me off and it's flipped, what should I be perceiving them as being? So they have their reality and I have my reality. And when the situation is flipped, am I gracious to this person? Did their value in my eyes change because they were in a hurry? Or do I give them the benefit of the doubt and say, you know, I don't know what's happening in their life, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they need to be somewhere or else they wouldn't have done this, that, or the other. And that's just an example of driving, but that can be in your family. It can be in your working area. It can be in whatever you're triggered if it involves somebody else, especially in families. This is really important to be able to analyze, you know, a husband and wife. The husband has his reality and you have your perception of that. You have your reality, or he has his reality and he has your perception of that. And not all of the time are those perceptions correct, even in a family. So it's really important to be able to communicate and to take your thoughts and what is happening and to be able to give each other some leniency. And as we do that, we then can become a whole person. We can then become a whole person because you're analyzing your thoughts and your feelings and then taking a step back and saying, okay, what is their point of view? What is their experience? Okay, so when we are thinking, and the way that we decide to think about ourselves has a lot to do with our perception, but also how we feel about ourselves and the things that we think. And we can either be 100% on top, like the world is great, or we can be the world is awful and I don't even want to be here. If you're way down here, then you take your life. I've had a lot, well, not a lot, but quite a few individuals in my life or in the life of people around me take their lives. And this is not a pretty place to be in. And so this is the middle ground. This is ground zero. And any area up here is fantastic. And sometimes it can look like we bounce from here to here to here to here to here to here. Anxiety and depression live down here. And those also come from thoughts that you can't control. There is this wonderful lady that is in one of my Facebook groups, and she deals with, right now she is dealing with what the world is telling her and the things that she can't control. And that's really hard to be able to be in that area where you just can't control things. And so it's really important to be able to control what you can control. So a person, I'll just say, this is her example. She could pray, she could donate money, she can fast, she can volunteer. And those are all things that she can do, or a person can do, to bring yourself above this line in situations that you can't control. But you need to know that it is important that as you are going through this life, as all of us are going through this life, it is important to be able to do what we can, and then to let God, or your higher power, do what needs to be done. So things that you can do is I didn't put this, but I can, let me fix this or add, I can pray, fast, donate. Money. Okay, so you can donate time and money into areas that you can't control. And then once you do that, to just keep that in your heart and on your mind, is to continue. So praying and fasting is like, it is very high vibration. Okay, so I want to go into the things that we talk to ourselves so much. And I heard one time, and it's not true, that if you had a friend who talked to you the same way you talk to yourself, how fast would you get rid of that person out of your life? Okay, so we tell ourselves things like, I'm dumb, I'm unlovable. This one was huge in my life for a really long time. I have no value. I'm fat, and because I'm fat, I have no value. I'm broken, or I'm broke. This was another one that I used to tell myself all the time, as I'm broken. I didn't even know that I was actually telling myself this until I started paying attention to the things that I was saying. So when it came to our finances, I kept saying, I'm broke, I'm broken, I'm broke, I'm broke. And then when it came to trying to get my fitness taken care of, I would say my body doesn't work and I'm broken. So I'm broke, I'm broken, I have no value, I'm fat, therefore I'm dumb because nobody's listening to me. We say things like, I'm lazy, I'm a bad person because I did X, Y, or Z in the past. A lot of things are in the past and not in the present. Oh, I shouldn't have tried to purchase that house when I knew my credit wasn't good. This is a huge one as well. Blame and complain. I didn't put complain, but they go together. Blame and complain. It's not my fault because it's my genetics. It's not my fault because whatever the case may be. Oh, I look in the mirror and I'm so ugly. I'm so unattractive. No wonder why I can't find somebody who loves me. And if you're saying these things, you are below this line. And a lot of the things that we say in this area have to do with the past. So when I was going to school, now I am a second generation homeschooler, but I was in and out. And my 6th grade English teacher would not let me read out loud because I wasn't a very good reader. And in fact, I was a very poor reader in school. And I really didn't even know how to really read until I was 16. And then I found this book series that were my hook books. And I started reading since then, and I never stopped. But even in 4th, 5th, 6th, so I didn't go to 5th, I went to 4th and 6th and part of 7th and part of 9th. And then I decided to be homeschooled the rest of the time through high school. But these were things I was teased a lot because I've always dealt with my weight. And so I used to tell myself, I'm dumb because I can't read. I'm fat because I'm fat. And therefore I have no value and I'm broken, which makes me unlovable. I used to be down here a lot. In fact, when I was 16, when I was 16, I got involved with somebody that I fell in love with. And when he broke up with me, I was so broken that I tried, and I lived down here. And I was so broken that I tried to take my life. Thank goodness it didn't work. But if you're in this area, I understand. And there is hope up here. There is hope. And so if you are living down here and you only pop up here every now and again, but most of your life is here and you're thinking these things, get help. Get help. Please don't hesitate to do that. Don't let pride get in the way of getting the help that you need. If you're only dipping down here and you live down here, but you also pop up here a good amount of time, seasonal depression and anxiety, they live down here. But if you're bouncing back and forth, I will highly encourage you to start saying these type of things. Everybody is a genius. Everybody is a genius in their own way. Even people, I have a daughter who has learning difficulties, and yeah, I watch her and she is a genius in art. She is a genius in her ability to help, and she is a genius in her own way. So everybody has value. So start saying things like this in the mirror. And if you have a hard time saying the I am, just start saying the word fun, compassionate, smart, caring, beautiful, abundant. And if you're just like, I don't know, then go to somebody in your life and ask them, what is something that you see in me? And let them help you. I had to add brilliant because that is amazing. That's an amazing word, brilliant. So when I came up with claim brilliance, just a side note, I thought to claim something means to make it yours. And then brilliant meant bright as in smart, brilliant as in a sunbeam or the light of Christ. And so when I say claim brilliance, I'm talking about making sure that you claim upon yourself brilliance. I love it. Just a little side note there. It's kind of fun. All right, so why am I even going here? Because it is really, really important as you do this. As you do this, what kind of mood are you in to ask certain questions? Is anybody involved? It is important to be able to recognize if you are below the line or if you are above the line, and to know that they are not necessarily coming from you, that they also come from these areas. And so the devil, he will bring you into this area every single second he can get. And if he can get you to declare I am statements are so powerful. I'm going to go here. So the power of I am. When Moses went to talk to God and he said, what do I tell the people who you are? What name do I tell them? And he says, tell them I am that I am. When you take on I am statements, you are declaring to your subconscious through neural pathways the direction you want your subconscious to go. So your subconscious, if it was like a ship, that your conscious mind declares, and then your subconscious mind follows orders. And your subconscious mind, it does not understand criticism. It only understands things that you tell it. So direct statements. So when you say I am, I'm going to go back here. When you say things like this, I am dumb, I am lazy, I am fat, I am broken, for whatever these are, then your subconscious says yes. Okay, that's the direction that the captain wants us to go. And even if you live down here, to be able to take one word, put it on your phone as an alarm that says abundant or kind or connected or child of God or creative, compassionate. Saying something that is in contrast to what you believe is really, really powerful. And a great way, just one tool that you can have in your belts to declare what it is that you want. I'm so passionate about this area that I even tell people, do not say I am hungry. You are not hungry. You feel hungry, you're experiencing hunger, but you are not hungry. When you say I am hungry, what your subconscious hears is I am a consumer. I am like I consume things. I need to continue to consume things. And what we need to be able to do then is to distinguish, instead of saying I am, saying things like I am experiencing this. And then when you say I am, declaring what it is that you want to be known for. I am a leader. I am caring. I am kind and compassionate. I am whole. I am beautiful. I am abundant. So I declare these type of things more often. I'm beautiful. That's another one. Anyways, these are the things that when I look in the mirror, I say these things to myself. And if I catch myself going here, I'm lazy or I'm unmotivated or I don't feel like, or I'm whatever it is down here, fill it in. What you need to do is to be able to write that out and then analyze, why do I feel this way? A lot of times, like I've said, a lot of times that comes from the past. And we live in our minds in the past so much, and we don't forgive ourselves, and we don't forgive others, and we blame and complain about our situation because of what has happened in the past. What we need to do is to be able to analyze what has happened in the past, move forward in the future, and live in the present. So you live in the present, create and move forward, fall forward into the present in a way that our mindset, how we choose to think, can lead the way, because it always leads the way. Whether you are in this area or in this area, you're leading the way. Your subconscious is paying attention to what you are telling yourself. And it says, okay, Captain, let's go that way. This person says that they're unmotivated, they're unattractive, they're lazy, and they just want to disappear from life. Then your subconscious will say, what can we do to numb these feelings? And then we go to TV, we go to food, we go to a lover, we go to things that will not help us. They hinder us, they hurt us. When we live down here in the past, they hurt us. So we need to take the things that we are thinking, analyze them on paper, and figure out where they're coming from, and then move into the future, fall forward. A quarterback, did you know that the best quarterbacks, when they get tackled, the difference between a good quarterback, this is football, a good quarterback and a poor quarterback is when they get tackled, because they will, 90% of the time, they will get tackled, they fall forward. That's the difference between a good quarterback and a bad quarterback. A poor quarterback will fumble and go backwards and fall backwards, where a good quarterback, more often than not, falls forward so that they can get more yards, get closer to their yardage that they need to gain. So what are you going to do in your life? Are you falling back into the past, or are you falling forward? Because life is full of ups and downs and falls and stumbles and trips and success and failure. But when we fail, are we analyzing that as a learning experience, or are we going into blame, complain, and foolishness? Are we going this way, or are we going this way? Because life is full of ups and downs. It's not a straight line like this. It's more like a rickety ups and downs and pitfalls and water and trenches and all of these things that happen in our life. And if our mindset is good and we're able to analyze the thoughts that are in our mind, then we can fall forward. All right, so our words, they really do matter. And I've kind of already covered this, but our words matter. The statements that you say is programming your subconscious. This is really, really important to be able to live on the other side. Okay, so here is a list of don'ts of thought patterns. Don't ignore or dismiss negative thoughts. If a thought comes, even if it's just a small thought like, oh, that was a stupid thing I did, to be able to say that and then to label it. So many times if we ignore and dismiss the negative thoughts, our subconscious can get into accepting them as fact. Like, oh, that was a really stupid, dumb thing that I did. And then your subconscious says, I'm stupid and I'm dumb and I'm foolish. Okay, so don't accept your thoughts as facts. They're just things, and you can analyze those things, but don't ignore and dismiss them. Okay. Don't let the negative thoughts fester and hurt you. If you are mad because you get into a fight or somebody cuts you off in traffic or whatever the situation, don't sit there and let it fester and hurt you. Take it and analyze it. Don't blame and be a victim. Don't think that everybody is out to is out to get you. Okay. And don't think that every single thought that comes from you is from you. A lot of the stuff that happens in our head doesn't even come from us. Okay. And then don't focus on why question. Why does this always happen? Why can't I ever? Why do I always? These are not good questions to ask. And so these are your don't do these things. If you want to have a positive mindset and you want to heal your mindset, then don't do these things. So instead, what can you do? All right, challenge the thoughts. Recognize the thought pattern. Most of the time when we get triggered, we are in a pattern, and to be able to analyze and recognize that thought pattern is really important. Did a situation happen and then your thought pattern, and to be able to disrupt that and say something like, oh, I recognize this thought pattern and I need to change it. So what is something that can replace that? So instead of saying, oh, that stupid jerk just cut me off in traffic, I can't believe her, what is she thinking? Of course, this always happens to me. Why are people so dumb? Instead of saying that, you can recognize, oh, somebody cut me off in traffic. They must be, this was something I had to train myself in. They must have had something happen, or they must be in a hurry, or else they wouldn't do this. I'm sure that people have really good intentions. And so to be able to recognize those thought patterns and then disrupt that thought pattern, challenge the thought. Is that fact or is that my perception? And then become a student of your thoughts. Like, be curious, like what happened that thought pattern, what happened in that thought pattern? This was the situation. And what triggered me so be curious on your thoughts, be curious on what happened. And then where did I get that thought pattern? So become a student of your thoughts and then take responsibility. The thing is you can't change what you're not accountable for. So if you blame somebody else for what has happened to you in the past, if you don't take responsibility for your part in that, then you can't change it. Now, you're probably thinking, yeah, but what about children? So my grandfather, he did some inappropriate things. He's not here anymore, but he did some inappropriate things. And I was really young. So that is not on me. My responsibility for that, though, is to forgive him and to pray to Heavenly Father, to pray to God, my higher power, and then to take responsibility for the feelings that hindered me. So that's how a person, when they're older, can take responsibility when bad things happen that should never happen. That's how you would take responsibility, to not forgive and to be able to say, I'm sorry, I was unable or unwilling to forgive this person. Please help me to be able to forgive this person and let you take care of it. So I want you to know that I am not condoning when bad things happen to people that are out of your control. The only thing that you can do to take responsibility for that is to forgive. Really want that to sink in. Some really bad things have happened in my life. I have a beautiful, I call them sister friends, whose husband took her life. That was something that I could not control that he did that and that she chose to stay with him knowing he was dangerous. But I take responsibility for forgiving him and giving it to the Lord. Really want that to sink in. When we don't forgive, this is number 7, to forgive. When we don't forgive, it's like drinking poison and hoping the other person dies. Really, really important to be able to take responsibility for the part that is yours. Because if you don't, you can't change it. You can't change it. Okay, so to process and direct your thoughts. Process what has happened, what triggered you, why you're feeling this way or why you're thinking this way, and then to turn and disrupt that thought pattern. You can do this by having a gratitude journal, number 8, having a gratitude journal. So write and burn if you're having a hard time and you just need to express how you're feeling. Express it on paper, not people. Express it on paper, not people. When we're having a really hard time and we're going through really hard things, you cannot take back words. You can't take back things that you say. Instead of hurting somebody else, write down what you are feeling, the things that you want to say, take a piece of paper and go for it. I don't use foul language, and I tell my clients, with this piece of paper, because you're disassembling it by tearing it up and you are burning it, that anything, if you are feeling like a curse word needs to come out, it comes out on the paper. Express yourself fully on this paper. If you have children who are just angry and you don't know what is wrong, have them color. Have them color a picture and then burn it. So even little children can do this. If they're upset and you can teach this to even 2-year-olds, like color a picture of what is making you so upset. Of course, a 2-year-old usually they're not afraid to tell you what they're feeling, but a 6-year-old or an 8-year-old may not know the words to express, but they can express it in a picture. So letting them draw a picture and then disassembling it by tearing it apart and then burning it is a really great way to process your thoughts and emotions. And then to forgive, and then to say things that you're grateful for, or to write them down. Have a gratitude journal, but if you are in the process of doing a write and burn, to be able to say a prayer and ask for forgiveness for your part in those bad feelings, and then I'm grateful for the atonement, or I'm grateful for this world, or I'm grateful for the tree, or I'm grateful for the air I breathe, or I'm grateful they have air to breathe, especially like people in our lives that mean a lot to us, when they trigger us and we're just like in the moment can't find anything good to say about them, to be able to say, I'm grateful that they are breathing, or I'm grateful that they have nails, or they have great hair, or whatever it is. Okay. To be able to find things that you're grateful for. And then number 9, focus on what and who questions. What is really good in my life right now? What can I do to make me feel happy? Who can I help today? Who loves me? So instead of why questions, focus on what and who questions. Okay, hold on just a second. My daughter is telling me something, but I'm going to ignore her while I finish up. She's okay. Okay, so thank you for being here today. I hope you found value in this. And if you would like to work with me, contact me at support@claimbrilliance.com. You can also find me on YouTube. If you search Claim Brilliance, not Claim Your Brilliance or anything like that, just Claim Brilliance or Emily Breyer, I will pop up and you can find me there with more trainings. You can also find me if you search up Claim Brilliance for faith-based women who want to live their life's mission. I have a Facebook group. That is my group. If you want to just hang out and not really participate, but just kind of want some good feeling stuff, I post on Facebook page Emily Jean Breyer, and that's where you can find me. I really appreciate, I'm going to stop sharing. Hi, so I want to thank you for paying attention to this training. I hope you found value in it. I hope that you are able to take the things that I have shared and live them, apply them, and then if you know anybody who will benefit from this, sharing it, because sharing is caring, right? And I really appreciate your time. I really honor that you have taken the time to watch this. And I hope that you find value in this. Again, if you want more, go ahead and like and subscribe and follow me on this different social platforms. But if you would like personal training, I would love to work with you. Just contact me at support@claimbrilliance.com and let me know. I love it. I have a couple of different options and packages that I will share with you once I hear from you in the email. So I honor that you took the time, and feel free to share this, because the more people I help, the better this world will be. And the more that they can fix their mindsets and contribute and heal, the better we all will be. And so I, again, am grateful that you spent the time to watch this, and I hope you found value. All right, again, my name is Emily Breyer with Claim Brilliance, and I will talk to you all soon. Bye.